The diamond earrings felt icy against my palm, a sharp contrast to the blazing betrayal raging in my chest. 3 carats. One for each year of what I believed was a happy marriage. I stood outside our front door in the harsh Chicago wind, not listening to the noise of the city, but to the sounds drifting from inside my own house. My wife's laughter, a sound I once cherished, now tangled with the voice of another man. This was my anniversary surprise, discovering my entire world shattered right on my doorstep. If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel. Tell us where you're from and what time it is where you are right now. It's always fascinating to see how far our stories travel. My name is Michael. For 3 years, Jessica had been my whole world. We met in a small cafe near Millennium Park, and from that moment forward, my life seemed to play like music. But now all I could hear was a single jarring note. I slipped the earrings back into my pocket and walked away. The freezing air against my face felt like relief compared to the storm raging inside me. I needed proof, cold, undeniable proof. The next morning, Jessica felt like a stranger. Her kisses were quick, her eyes distant. She casually mentioned she'd been at a late-night yoga class. The lie rolled off her tongue so easily that it terrified me. I began with small steps. Simple tracking software on her phone. A keylogger installed on our shared laptop. It felt wrong, like I was betraying the man I once was. But that version of me had been married to a woman who didn't exist. Soon, the messages started appearing. His name was David. They'd met at her new marketing job. Their texts were a nauseating mix of sweet nothings and explicit details about their encounters. They joked about me, my work hours, the way I brewed my coffee. Each message felt like another shard of glass pressing deeper into my heart. She'd meet him for client lunches at the Purple Pig on Michigan Avenue, or grab drinks after work at a rooftop bar overlooking the river. My city, our city, had become the setting for their affair. The pain was overwhelming, but alongside it grew something else, a cold, steady determination. I wasn't just going to walk away. I was going to tear apart the life she thought she was cleverly building. I stopped playing the role of the attentive husband. Instead, I became a ghost in our home, polite but distant. When she asked what was wrong, I'd just smile faintly and say, "Just tired from work, honey." The more distant I became, the more reckless she grew. Soon she started complaining about our finances, even though I earned most of the income. "We really need to cut back, Michael," she'd say. All while I knew she was spending money on expensive gifts for David. That was the opening I needed. I reached out to my lawyer, a ruthless professional I'd known for years. Together, we quietly created a new trust, transferring my premarital assets and a significant portion of my income into it. Legally airtight. She wouldn't be able to claim a single dollar. Next came the social trap. Jessica's parents adored me. They were traditional people who valued loyalty and family above everything else. Her father, a retired executive, had even helped me land my first major promotion. Meanwhile, Jessica was planning an extravagant party for her 30th birthday at a stylish gallery in the West Loop. It was meant to be her big social triumph, filled with her new sophisticated friends and both of our families. It was the perfect stage. For weeks, I carefully gathered evidence, text records, GPS data from her car proving her yoga studio was actually David's apartment complex in Lincoln Park, credit card receipts for hotel stays she claimed were business trips. I even hired a private investigator for a day. He captured crystal-clear photos of them kissing outside a restaurant less than 10 minutes from her home. Everything went into one carefully organized digital folder. The night of the party arrived. Jessica looked stunning. She moved gracefully through the crowd, accepting compliments, her arm looped through mine. Every now and then she squeezed my hand and whispered how much she loved me. The hypocrisy stung like poison. David was there too, introduced as one of her coworkers. He shook my hand with a smug smile, a hint of pity in his eyes. He had no idea he was greeting a man who had read every single one of their messages. Then Jessica's father stood to give a toast. He spoke about love, commitment, and how proud he was of his daughter and the life she had built with me. The room erupted in applause. Then it was my turn. Jessica looked at me with sparkling eyes, expecting a heartfelt tribute. I stepped up to the microphone. Behind me, a large screen displayed a cheerful slideshow of our wedding photos. I began calmly. Thank you all for coming to celebrate Jessica tonight. She truly is an extraordinary woman. In fact, she's so extraordinary she's been managing to live two lives at the same time. A nervous chuckle spread through the room. Jessica's smile started to fade. I pressed the remote in my hand. The wedding photo disappeared. In its place appeared a screenshot of a text message. I can't wait to get away from Michael this weekend. He's so boring.
Click.
A photo of Jessica and David locked in a passionate kiss.
Click.
A hotel receipt in her name.
Click. Click. Click.
Gasps swept through the room as the screen cycled through image after image. Texts, photos, GPS maps, an entire montage of betrayal. I never raised my voice. I didn't need to. The evidence spoke louder than words. Jessica's expression shifted from confusion to shock to complete horror. Her father stared at the screen, his face frozen in disbelief and fury. David tried slipping out of the room, but several of Jessica's uncles quietly stepped in front of him. I turned to Jessica, speaking in a calm, steady voice. Our joint accounts were frozen this morning. My lawyer already filed the divorce papers. You can keep the apartment, but my name will be off the lease by the end of the month. Everything you're wearing, everything you own, was paid for by a man you called boring. I paused. Happy birthday, Jessica. I removed my wedding ring and set it on the lectern. The soft metallic sound echoed through the silent gallery. Then I walked out without looking back, leaving behind the burning wreckage of her carefully built life. Outside, the cold Chicago air felt pure and refreshing for the first time in months. Her perfect world was gone. Her reputation was shattered. Her future, an empty unknown. As for me, I used money she'll never touch to buy a small coffee shop by the lake. A quiet little place. Sometimes I stand by the window watching the waves roll in. Because the greatest revenge is living well. And my new life had only just begun.